There was a story, something happened to me when I was about 14 years old or so. Oh, about to run us over in a ditch. So I was, my sister, she was about 17, her friend, she was about 17, and me and I was going to stay in a house we used to live in. We'd moved down about a quarter of a mile away. My parents still owned the old house. So we were staying in it one night. We weren't drinking or nothing. We were just staying in there. And I had a dog with me. And this dog was a little mutt. He's about a medium-sized dog, maybe 50 pounds or something, 60. Anyway, I think it was about, I don't remember what we were doing, but it was about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And everybody was in the bed. My sister was in the bedroom. Her friend was on the couch in the living room, and I was on the other couch in the living room. My couch had a window above it. Her couch was beside my sister's friend's couch was beside the door, and my sister was in the bedroom, kind of as you come in the front door to the left. So you come in the front door, my sister's friend was to the right and on a couch. I was directly straight ahead about 30 feet on another couch with a window above it, and my sister was to the left. You go in about 10 feet and there was a hallway to the left. Well, we lay down to go to sleep, and I drift off to sleep, and of course my dog is there too. I don't want to forget about my dog. He's one of the main characters in the story. He was on the front porch. We don't let dogs in the house, so he was on the front porch. Well, my dog woke me. I just drifted off. I hadn't been asleep long, and my dog woke me up inside the house. He was licking my face. I was laying on the couch, had my head toward my sister's room, and the dog was in the living room licking my face. And he woke me up, and I was looking at him, and I remember actually talking to him, like, "What are you doing? How'd you get in here, dog?" And of course he was fine. There was no stress or anything. He was just in the house. So I take him and I go back to the front door, and the door is shut. And I'm kind of wondering how the dog got in the house, right? So I put him back out and I pet him a little bit. And of course it's like 12:30 or 1 now. And I shut the door. I make sure. And I go back to bed. I lay back down on the couch the same way I was. And I drift off to sleep, and about not long, 20 or 30 minutes after I go to sleep, my dog wakes me up again doing the same thing, licking my face as I'm laying on the couch sleeping. So I wake up and I'm like, what the heck, and I'm looking at the dog, and it's dark in there, the lights aren't on, and I'm 14, right? So I'm not really worldly smart, as you would say. And anyway, I get up with the dog, and I take the dog through the house while I'm looking. I thought there might be a hole in the floor or something. That's how the dog's getting in. And I checked all the doors. There was 3 doors that went outside. Checked all the doors. Checked, any way the dog could get in, and all the doors was shut with the dog in the house. And now my sister was asleep, and her friend was asleep. You could tell if people were asleep or not, if they're faking. So they didn't even know any of this was going on. They were out of it. So I go back out. I put him back on the porch, and I'm messing with him a little bit. And I'm thinking he's really smart, and he can open doors. He knows how to open a door. So I shut the door back, and I go back and lay down. And the third time my dog came in the house, the third time he woke me up. I woke up by my dog. He jumped on my chest, and his face was facing my face, kind of the direction of my sister's bedroom behind my head. And I wake up because he's growling and snarling, and he wasn't barking, but he was growling and snarling. His slobber was actually dripping on my face, and his toenails were kind of digging into my chest, so it scared me. First off, I was pretty frightened at this point, and I was like, I get up and I slide him off into the floor. I thought he had, I mean, I didn't know. I thought it was a demon dog or something. I slide him off into the floor and I jump up and he slides off, but he doesn't, he stays squared up with the same direction, and he keeps growling and snarling towards my sister's bedroom door. And I turn and look, and I see the shape of a person, I guess. I don't think it was a person, but I see the shape of a person. They didn't have any clothes on. I see their front foreleg was kind of gray. Remember, there's no lights on in here. It's kind of gray, and some hair. When I turn my head and look, the thing takes off through the house, bolts through the house, and it was running down the hallway. Bam, bam, the whole house was shaking. Bam, 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 not like an earthquake, but it's just vibrating everything. Out the back door, and the door, you know how when the doors are slammed really hard or open really hard, they'll vibrate on their hinges, like boom, 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 boom. Well, this thing runs back, and my dog's still growling that way. My dog didn't take off after it. So I'm sitting there on the couch, and I stand up, and the thing is bolted through the hallway, out the back door. The back door vibrates, you know, and slams back shut. And my dog turns, jumps on the couch, and the window that was above my couch is open now. Jumps on the couch and out through the window to catch this thing, to chase it down, instead of following it down the hallway, which is, I don't know. This is really what happened. So my dog leaps onto the couch and out the window into the darkness, catches this thing out there in the brush for a few minutes, and they're tussling. I can hear him kind of fighting back and forth. And then I listen, and they take off up the holler for miles out of hearing range. I hear the dog chasing this thing, barking as they're going, and you can't, I mean, a person can't outrun a dog, no way, not through up and down mountains and through hollers and all this kind of stuff. And so I'm standing there in the house, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here, you know? And my sister's waking up. The noise woke her up and her friend up, and they didn't see any of it. They didn't hear any of it. So they're kind of like not really understanding what was happening. So, number one, this thing, the house, my dog got into the house 3 times. The first 2 times, the dog didn't, I mean, I saw something in the house besides my dog. So my dog didn't know that anybody else was in there, wasn't frightened, wasn't stressed out the first 2 times. The 3rd time, my dog jumps on my chest and is raking his claws and growling, and his slobbers on me. His face is like right here, except it's kind of pointing above me, looking toward the bedroom. And I throw him off into the floor, and the thing bolts through and out the back door. My dog jumps on the couch and out the window to catch the thing. And the window was open. The window wasn't open the first 2 times. It was open the 3rd time, though. So, I mean, did the thing, somebody creep? I mean, it's creepy, man. Even though it's a weird story, and I don't know if it was a person or a werewolf or a ghost or a goblin. It's definitely something. And my dog definitely couldn't catch it. Caught it for a moment out in the brush. Did it sneak over and open my window above? I mean, that's just weird, you know what I mean? The whole situation's weird. And anyway, the dog came home about a day or 2 later. I can't hardly remember now. And he didn't have any cuts or scrapes on him. His feet was kind of, the pads of his feet was kind of a little bit raw and bloody where he'd ran a lot. But yeah, that's something that really happened, and it kind of traumatized me a little bit. But I was a kid and I really didn't understand what was going on until some years later, and I started really thinking about it. So that was really weird. Saw the front leg of this person or thing, kind of gray, had some thin, wiry looking hair on it. So if it was a person, they were super strong and super heavy to bounce the trailer, to bounce the house around like that when it ran through it. And they didn't have any clothes on, and they were standing in my sister's room. And was it in the house the whole time? Was it letting the dog in the house without the dog knowing? I mean, that's pretty sneaky. So it really happened. My dog finally caught on the third time, and praise the Lord for my dog for protecting me and the rest of us. And yeah, that's a true story. If you want to hear more details about it, just let me know. And I got some more stories that happened over there in the same spot that are just as weird. I've told these before on my YouTube channel, but I figured I'd update it and tell it again, make it kind of shorter. So like and subscribe. If you want to hear more stories, let me know. Thanks.